Today is Thursday, 2 days before the race. We weren't gonna race because my thumb is broken, but we started talking. Thumb's feeling good. It's healing up good. Stitches are still good, so we're just gonna wrap it up and send it. So stay tuned for us putting it together and seeing if we can make it. So we got to be on the road tomorrow, at least afternoon to Tech.
But isn't the fun run tomorrow?
We've done the fun run, so I'm not too worried about running the fun run. We've raced that course twice already, so I think we'll be all right. But we'll go from there and see what we can do. So as far as the rear truck goes, we have to do rear bedside mounts because when we change the back half of the truck, we cut off the back half right here and redid the whole back of the truck for a new fuel cell, 40-inch tires. So we will have to mount the bedsides to be able to race, because to start the race you have to have full fiberglass on the truck. So that's something we got to do as well. We'll do a minor prep nut and bolt check on the rear of the truck. Like I said, we weren't gonna race, so we made this decision kind of last minute.
Like 20 minutes ago?
Like 20 minutes ago. So, you know, this is what it's all about. These times are fun. You know, we probably won't sleep tonight, but what's the saying? You sleep when you're dead.
11:20 in the morning.
Yeah, so it's 11:20. We dropped off the kids at school, and we decided, hey, let's make it happen.
We already booked and paid for everything.
Yeah, the race is paid for. We were going to see if we can push the fees off to the next race, but this is one race that we love to race. We haven't finished it. The last two times we broke. The first time we broke an axle in half right after the moon bumps. The second time we broke a link in half right after the moon bumps.
Both
so
third lap on the last day, right?
Yeah, so we've changed all that stuff, and we'll go from there. Most of the stuff.
What you doing down there?
Measuring the bushings to make sure, because these bushings got to be the Delaron has to be machined down on the lower control arm bushings to make sure they fit perfect. So that's what I'm doing right now. Looks like 4 inches. Okay.
What she said.
Getting it done.
So you're putting new bushings on these lowers.
Yeah, so we're gonna take a wire wheel. We're gonna clean out all the old grease, any corrosion that started in there, and then we're gonna use red and tacky grease, which is a Lucas Oil product, and we're gonna grease all the bushings with red and tacky, and then we're gonna set all the new Delaron bushings. We're gonna grease the inner sleeves as well, put those in, and we're also gonna put new uniballs in as well. So that's kind of what we're doing right now, and then we're gonna get all the brake lines put on, zip tied onto their little holders, and then they'll be ready to go back. We were gonna sandblast them, but we ran out of time. We dropped them off at a company and they didn't do anything in the time they said they were going to, so it is what it is. We're just gonna run them the way they are and hope for the best. We'll go from there.
So in town, we grabbed bolts. We grabbed, what else did we grab?
We grabbed bolts, we grabbed brake cleaner. We had to get bolts from 2 different places. We got F911s from an industrial place for the lower arms, and then we got some other bolts for the steering. I like to replace bolts when we have everything apart, just because the truck is ran super hard, and having a bolt fail is a bad thing, and it can cause a catastrophic failure, and you can basically wad up the truck. So we do our due diligence. It's not necessarily required all the time, but these bolts haven't been replaced in a while on this truck. But most of the time when we do a full prep, we tear the truck down to bare chassis, sandblast everything, check everything for cracks, new hardware, new bolts, new heims, uniballs, everything. So we aren't necessarily doing that to the rear of the truck this time, just because we decided to race last minute, but the front end was what really needed. The rear of the truck's had a few heims replaced since we raced, and we've just kind of maintained it, but I think it'll be all right. Most of the parts are new on the rear of the truck, and we'll go from there.
So when we did originally decide to race Rage, we sent out the steering box to Min in Arizona and had him go through it, and he sent it back. So he made sure this was like a fast turnaround for us, which we really appreciate. But here she is. Here she is.
All nice and fresh and painted.
Are you using the Scotch-Brite on like the drill bit to clean those up?
Yeah, so here's another trick you can do. If you, depending on the size of hole, you can take and you can wrap Scotch-Brite around a drill bit, and you always got to make sure the way you're rotating, make sure it overlaps a certain way, and then you put it into whatever you're trying to clean. It's a good way to polish the surface and clean it all up and make sure any rust or any contaminants are gone. And then you can take brake clean it up real good, and then grease it, put all your new bushings in, and you're good to go.
So you're making all new brake lines for the lower arm?
I'm making new brake lines for the lower arm because the old ones, they were single flare.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at them, they never sealed. They sealed, but they were hard to seal. So see how they were all single flare, so it was real hard to get them to seal. So I figure I have the stuff to make new ones. Why not make them real quick? Takes us about 10 minutes per brake line to make it real quick. So might as well. That way we won't have any issues with brake lines not sealing.
In the process of cutting new bushing sleeves out on the bandsaw, and then I'm gonna face one side on the lathe just to make it easier for Ryan to finish them off. already have one cut. I have 2 more after this one. I'm just gonna face these.
He goes, I talked to... He goes, when I have these
How's it coming?
patients that are 95, 96 years old, I always ask them, well, what did you do to make it this long? And he says, stay active. He goes, don't just sit at the house. He goes, go to the gym, go on walks. Says they all say the same thing.
Okay. So now we can put on the power steering pump. Are the lower on ready?
Well, you still had to face that other side of the bushings, but they're pretty much.
Let me do that then.
So it is 6:06 right now.
And typical Javera has a truck tore apart.
Oh. Yep.
It is.
Hey, it wouldn't be one of our trips if it was ready.
I am trying to get this trailing arm done in the race.
So how many days pre-race are we now?
Say what?
How many days before the race?
The race is tomorrow.
And what time is it?
I don't even know what time it is or what day it is.
How late did you stay up last night?
I was up until 5 o'clock last night.
So it's 8:36 right now.
And I woke up at 7.
So what all do we still have to finish and what got finished last night?
So the truck is all back together. We have to bleed the brakes, bleed the steering, and mount the bed sides. And it should be ready to go.
So who came over last night?
Jason came over, my dad came over, and Ryan, who we call Mayday, came over. So without their help, we wouldn't even be as far as we are now. So Ryan stayed till about 2:30, I think, something like that, 2 o'clock. So we got a lot done yesterday, and yeah, we're hopefully gonna leave here in a couple hours and be on our way. I'm tired.
We're here. We made it. Are you guys happy? Are you guys excited?
I don't want to go.
Why? Tired?
Yeah, right. I can't find my sock.
Well, we finally pulled up to our hotel and it's 2:51 in the morning. We're about to go tech. We just did registration.
Yeah, Luana just did registration. We're all done with that.
We had to be here between 5 and 6 in the morning to be able to do that because we missed it last night. I think it ended at 8 o'clock, and since we got